Yeah, it was one of those games after such an emotional high to play Tennessee. No excuses coming into today. We tried to guard against having a letdown against Little Rock because we knew they were capable of beating us. But as the game started, you could just tell that our players were kind of laxed, even though we worked all week on not being laxed and punching first and not letting them have any breathing room. I guess just being kids, they were thinking, well, it's Little Rock and we're going to beat them by 20 or 30, and this is Division I basketball. And our freshmen need to understand that, and all of our players, that we can't take anyone lightly. We were 5-5 coming into the game. We have to come out swinging, and I do understand the other side of it being emotional for them after Tennessee to try to get back up for this game.
Coach, you've talked a lot about Antoine Jones' performance on the defensive end of the floor. Were you impressed with the way he played on defense tonight?
Yeah, Antoine was doing some really good things out there. He had a lot of energy. He was more aware. I mean, getting in the starting lineup really energized him and made him feel good about himself. And he really was focused when the game started and made some great plays on the defensive end and the offensive end. He rebounded the ball for us. We still need more, but this is his highest rebound in total thus far.
Penny, on Antoine, he gets emotional out on the court, both good and bad. How do you work with him on that and his body language when it's not going so well?
When you have an emotional player like Antoine, you just have to continue to talk to him at practice to try to control it and do the best you can. He just is who he is. That's what's been taking so long for him to get on the floor, because emotionally he wasn't really into it at first because he wasn't out there a lot. So I like this side of it, you know, the emotions and the energy, because he's happy and he's willing to work on it more now because he knows he's starting and he's in the lineup.
You've been talking about Antoine since media day, so how good he could be as a player. What was the mindset for you putting him in the starting lineup today, and why today? Well,
I think that the game that he had against Tennessee, he made some really good plays for us in the paint, getting to the basket, the way he can finish around the rim, and that gave me the idea to say, you know what, it's time for Twan to go in there. Alex coming off the bench might be better for him because he gets a chance to see the play, comes in, and he still had 6 assists coming off the bench, Alex, but it gives him an opportunity to kind of run the second team and be more involved offensively and do things of that nature. But as far as Antoine, after that Tennessee game, we just felt like, okay, it's time to just give him a shot.
Coach, when Antoine was asked about the one-hand lob pass that he threw to Kevin, he referenced watching your highlights. Does he remind you of yourself at all when he's on the floor?
Yeah, he has the vision. He really does. He has a God-given ability to see the floor, see things before they happen, and he's shown that this year, and he showed it a lot tonight.
Penny, what'd you think of the transition defense? Obviously needs a little work. You got in transition on offense as well, though, too.
Our transition defense was horrible. And that's all we talked about, getting 2 guards back when another guard shot the ball and sprinting back into the paint. And it's like, you know, the kids, it's we work on this stuff, but it doesn't look like it, but we work on it. And it's just like we just got to be able to carry it over from practice onto the floor. It's almost like they don't believe it because they see the team. This is not how college basketball works. You have to believe everything that we're telling you, and then when you get into the game, you have to do it. And we're not doing a good job of that right now.
So, Penny, a little under 4 minutes to go, and they go up 2. What's running through your mind at that point?
I'm just staying calm because I'm just trying to figure the game out, try to figure out what we could do offensively. I felt like defensively we could get some stops once we went into the zone. We knew that they were going to panic. If they made contested threes, then so be it. We just had to rebound. Coming back on offense where we were having some problems because the ball was sticking and we weren't making enough plays for each other, which, you know, indicates 22 assists, 21 turnovers. So I was more knowing that we would get stops under the 4 minutes is just what we were going to do offensively. So I was trying to stay calm.
Can you remember a game where you had a team that was winning the boards as much as you guys were tonight, and yet you couldn't put the team away?
Unbelievable. It's just we didn't play good enough offensively. I think defensively in transition we didn't get back, but other than that in the half court we did pretty well, and we rebounded the ball really well. It's just the transition points and free throws. And that's what kept them in the game, the transition points and the free throws. We just have to get better.
Kevin seemed to play a lot better after halftime. Did you have a message for him, or was that just him in his own head flipping that switch in the second half?
I watched him a lot in the first half. He didn't have the same energy. He just got more energy in the second half. He knows that, I guess as he got closer to us, looking like we were going to lose, you know, he turned it on or whatever. It's just like I said, you have to push him during every game. He's not going to come out with just that energy every game, and we keep pushing. He didn't have it the first half, and he got the energy that he needed in the second half to do those things.
Hey, Penny, this is more like a boxing match. They dominated for almost 17 minutes, and your depth took over the last 3 minutes of the first half with a few turnovers that brought it back down. Same thing in the second half. How's your depth going to help you throughout the season?
Well, we want to play 10 guys. We really do, because we want to be high energy and getting in people's face. Unfortunately, it hadn't afforded us to do that because we're keeping people in foul trouble. They're staying on the foul line, and we're turning the ball over too much. But our depth did help us because we're killing people with our bench. Our bench is coming in and doing really, really well, and that's partially Kevin Davenport coming in and doing that, and then Kareem Bruden had a great game tonight offensively. Had some turnovers, but had a great game offensively, and that depth is what we got to strengthen numbers. We got to wear people down and be able to beat them at the end.
Yep. Any other questions? Right here. Penny, what can you say about the seniors? I believe they finished the game with 28 of your last 31, specifically Kareem, Keith, Jeremiah.
Yeah, that's just being veterans and understanding what to do in that situation. When it became winning time, they took over the game, and that's what's supposed to happen. The freshmen are supposed to follow their leads, and I was proud of those three seniors, taking the game in their hands and bringing us home.